Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dr. Terri Alford, founder of TNA Financial Group. And on today, I am going to speak to you about how to get the life out of your life insurance. So, life insurance is different from death insurance, and I specialize in helping you get the most out of your life insurance. The L stands for life, living benefits. If you have a life insurance policy and it does not have an accelerated living benefit rider, then your life insurance policy is not giving you all the benefits that it can give you if you can be approved for. What do I mean? Well, with many carriers, not all insurance carriers, but with many of them, you're able to qualify for something called accelerated living benefits. And if you are diagnosed with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, you can use the money from your death benefit or portion of that money to cover your living expenses, your medical expenses. And you can qualify for that if you have that condition after you've already had the policy. So if your policy does not have an accelerated living benefit rider for critical, chronic, and terminal illnesses, it may be time for you to get an upgrade. Now let's talk about the I, right? The insurance part, the death insurance part. If you have a policy, just know that your life insurance is to compensate in the event of a loss, okay? And so the person who has life insurance must have a beneficiary who have insurable interests. What does that mean? You can't just have a policy on anybody off the street. That's illegal, right? And I hate when people come to me and say, can I get a policy on my ex-boyfriend? Without him knowing, that's illegal. Don't ask me to do that. But anyway, sidebar. When you get a life insurance policy, you should definitely have the living benefits as well as the death benefit, but get more than just enough to cover your death expenses. Make sure that you are leaving a legacy. Make sure that there's enough to cover all of your household expenses. And in the event that you do become ill, like I mentioned before, you can use the money from the accelerated living benefits to pay for whatever you need, whether that is hiring an employee until you can go back to work as the CEO of your business, or that could mean just making sure that your family does not have to go without because you have been the primary breadwinner. If you are a single parent, it is indeed important for you to have much more life insurance, because if something happens to you, your babies are going to need money that's going to carry them into their next season. Okay, so let's talk about the F, free. What's free? Well, you can build tax-free retirement within your life insurance. You can build that strategy by using the cash value that is available if you have a whole life policy or an index universal life policy. Now you may say, well, Terri, I've heard about the tax strategies, but I'm not really sure what is that about. Well, there are multiple ways for you to structure your life insurance policy. It's like building a pizza, right? If you come to me and you say, Terri, I want a pizza, I am going to say, great. And I'm going to ask, what type of pizza would you like? Would you like a pizza with thin crust, thick crust, pan, or something in the middle? Are you a vegetarian? Do you want meat lovers? Do you want barbecue sauce, tomato sauce, white sauce, Alfredo sauce? Like, what type of sauce do you want on your pizza? The same thing happens when you are looking to use a life insurance policy that is going to give you additional benefits that include tax-free retirement. Not all policies are structured the same. Not all strategies are structured the same. So it's important that you know, if you are using your life insurance to get the most cash value out of it, one of the strategies that you want to implement is lowering the death benefit on that particular policy. I share with my clients, especially those of you who have businesses, listen to this. If you have a goal to have $1 million business, but you do not have $1 million in life insurance, I think you are underinsured. If you have $1 million in assets, but you do not have $1 million in life insurance, I recommend that you add $1 million in coverage. Now you may say, well, how much is $1 million policy going to cost me? Well, you can get multiple policies that add up to $1 million and still have the strategy of building a tax-free retirement within your IUL or within your whole life policy. So within those tax-free retirement policies, you're going to have a lower death benefit, and then you can get a term for the difference, or you can get another whole life policy to make up for the difference and have that policy structured in a way so that if you do need to use the accelerated living benefits, you pull from one policy and you still have the other one growing. If you are looking to borrow 50,000, 100,000 from one of the policies, you're doing that from one policy while the other one is still growing. So I like to believe that there's not a one-size-fits-all solution, and the best way for you to know the best carrier, the best structure, and the best plan for your life is to book a consultation. You can go to www.tnafinancialgroup.com to book a consultation, or you can just drop the word consultation in the comment section of this video. My team will reach out to you, and we will get you on our calendar so you can have your free consultation. Okay. And then let's speak about equity. Okay. Equity ownership. So did you know that you can actually own things by taking a loan against your policy? As a matter of fact, you can even use your policy to get a loan from the bank. That is called a collateral assignment. There are people who invest in their businesses and invest in their family portfolios by using their life insurance as collateral. So if you only are using your life insurance and you only have a little bit that's going to cover you if you die, you want your family to have enough to bury you, then you are underinsured. That is not an abundant way to think. You should use life insurance for the many benefits that it has. And if you are not convinced of that, or not convinced that these products can work for you, I highly recommend that you schedule a consultation. Now, before I wrap up this video, let me dispel some myths, because I know some of y'all watching and y'all are like, my auntie, my uncle said it's a bad investment. They died and they didn't. Let me tell you something. First of all, if you have a life insurance policy and you've had it less than 2 years, the insurance companies are going to do their research and they are going to see if your policy is eligible for payout, because if someone dies within 2 years of getting that policy, they are within the 2-year incontestability period. So if your auntie or your uncle lied on the application and they said they didn't have diabetes and they really did, and it was documented on their document records, and they pass away, the insurance company may not pay out the claim if they lied on the application. If you smoke and then you say you don't smoke and then you pass away, the insurance company don't have to pay out that claim. But if it's after 2 years, they have to pay out that claim. Another thing that you may say is, well, I have a friend or I have a colleague and they had an IUL or whole life policy and they didn't get any cash value growth. It is all based upon how the policy is structured. Again, it's like going to Pizza Hut and saying, hey, I want a pizza. They're going to look at you and say, okay, what kind of pizza do you want? Pepperoni, like barbecue? Like you have to actually know what you are looking for. And if you are meeting with someone and they just want to give you one thing and they are not doing a true financial needs analysis to see how you can use this policy while you're living and after you pass away, how can you use this policy to build a legacy, then you may just be working with your average insurance agent and not truly working with someone who has your best interest at heart. So if you want to learn more about how life insurance can be used to help build your wealth portfolio, I highly recommend that you book a consultation. Again, it is free, it is complimentary, and you may actually have a policy that you do not understand. We do annual reviews as well at TNA Financial Group, and we specialize in advanced market sales, which are the Index Universal Life Policies, the LIRPs, which is the life insurance retirement plan strategies, the investment grade life insurance, as well as the annuities. And I say it like this: you can have the product that works best for your budget and where you are taking your family on your financial journey. I believe that some life insurance is better than no life insurance. So I'm not knocking any particular type, but let's say your term is like your Toyota. We're going to say it's a Toyota. Toyota is a good, dependable vehicle, right? You can get from point A to point B with Toyotas. And with your term policies are designed to give you coverage during the most critical years. You can have a 10-year policy, a 20-year policy, or a 30-year policy. However, after the 10, 20, or 30 years, the policy is done. There is no more insurance. Okay? So we say that those are like your Toyota. If you will, use your imagination and see your whole life policies and your guaranteed universal life policies as your guaranteed universal life policies as your Lexus, right? So they have the benefits of the term, like, the Toyota, the Lexus is just a fancier Toyota with more features and benefits. Yeah, exactly. So with your whole life policies, we're going to say those permanent policies last you forever, right? They can last you until you're age 120 years old. You can also have your whole life policies be structured so that they pay you dividends. You can also have those policies give you all your money back after 20 or 30 years. But then we have what I refer to as a Lamborghini, Maserati, Bugatti version of the living benefits. And those are your index universal life policies. And those policies can be used to build and grow your tax-free retirement. You can build cash value in those policies that you can turn into cash for other investments like real estate, like building up your residential portfolio, your commercial portfolio. There's an infinite number of possibilities of how you can use those policies to benefit you during your lifetime as your cash value is being built. So if you do have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. I'm excited to help you. I thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and continue to learn more about how you can attract abundance and retire wealthy. My name is Dr. Terri Alford. I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist, and I specialize in helping business owners build wealth and financial freedom so that we can live, lead, and leave multi-million-dollar legacies. Have an abundant day.